Yo, what's really going on in the world of D4v? Because this week, things just got way darker than anyone expected. The internet is on fire right now, and not for the usual TikTok hit or viral snippet. Nah, we're talking full-blown federal involvement. And fans are completely stunned. Word just dropped that the FBI has finally connected D4vd's TikTok reposts to an actual murder investigation. And yes, you heard that right. The same soft-spoken artist known for his moody melodies and aesthetic visuals is now being tied to something way more sinister, according to leaked reports. There's a trail of reposted videos, cryptic captions, and eerie audio snippets that may be more than just art. They might be clues, or worse, confessions. Fans are digging up old posts, TikToks are being taken down mysteriously. And now, even D4vd's own team is scrambling for answers. Could his aesthetic just be a cover for something darker? Or is he being framed in one of the wildest smear jobs hip-hop has seen in years? Grab your phone, lock in, and don't blink, because what we're about to unpack will leave your jaw on the floor. This isn't just drama. This might be D4vd's downfall. What? Started as just another TikTok repost from D4vd has spiraled into one of the most bizarre and chilling stories the rap world has seen this year. Fans initially thought it was just part of his usual dark aesthetic. You know, the late-night clips, the vintage TV filters, the cryptic captions like "What's done in the dark always finds light, and death ain't the end. It's the escape." At first glance, nothing seemed out of the ordinary until one user commented, "Wait, isn't that the same hoodie from the murder footage?" And just like that, the internet went into full investigation mode. A video that D4vd reposted nearly 2 months ago suddenly started gaining traction. It showed nothing more than a slow pan of a dark alley, flickering lights, and a distorted version of his own song playing faintly in the background. But then a Reddit thread surfaced with side-by-side screenshots. The alley wasn't just some random moody background. It was the exact same location where a 19-year-old aspiring rapper, Trayvon Lil Trey Michaels, was found murdered in Houston earlier this year. Fans were quick to notice a chilling detail. The timestamp on the original TikTok lined up with the night of Trey's death. People started asking, was this coincidence or confession? Then, things got weirder. Within hours of the video going viral again, it was quietly deleted from D4vd's profile. No explanation, no story post, just gone. And when you're famous, especially in the age of internet detectives, deleting something without explanation, it's basically the same as confessing guilt. Fans flooded the comments of his other posts, demanding answers. Why'd you delete it? Was that Trey's alley? Do you know something we don't? One post alone racked up 48,000 comments in less than 24 hours. But what really tipped everything over the edge wasn't the repost itself, it was what the FBI uncovered after they reportedly got involved, according to an anonymous source allegedly connected to the case. The FBI's cybercrimes unit had already been monitoring D4vd's page quietly for months. Why? Because Trayvon Michaels' phone was never recovered at the scene. And there were rumors that his final FaceTime call was made to a private burner number just hours before he died. What makes this wild is that metadata from D4vd's now deleted TikTok matched the geolocation of that final call. Yeah, let that sink in. It wasn't just that the TikTok was spooky or a vibe. The actual location of the video put D4vd within 5 blocks of the crime scene at the exact time of the murder. And that's not even the craziest part, because fans didn't know that D4vd and Trayvon had a past. It turns out Trayvon used to be part of a local collective called Dead Rose. He and D4vd allegedly had beef over a song sample 2 years ago. Trey accused D4vd of stealing a hook from one of his unreleased tracks. At the time, it didn't make headlines because both artists were still bubbling under. But now, that old beef has come back with a vengeance. A mutual friend of both artists who chose to stay anonymous went live on Instagram and said, "Y'all think D4v, all soft and poetic. Nah, dude got real smoke with Trey. They had a fallout. Fists were thrown. I ain't saying he did nothing, but I ain't shocked either." This one live stream sent the internet into total chaos. The comments were out of control. Half the fans were defending D4v, saying this was all a stretch, an attempt to cancel a rising star. The other half were convinced they had just uncovered the biggest murder mystery in music since the Extentation case. But the emotional toll didn't stop with the fans. Trayvon's mother, Miss Lakeisha Michaels, gave a heartbreaking interview on a local Houston radio show. Her voice cracked as she said, "All I want is the truth. If somebody knows something, speak up. My baby ain't just disappear." He was set up when asked about the TikTok connection. She paused for a long moment, then simply said, "I've seen the video. I've heard the rumors. And my heart tells me it wasn't random." Meanwhile, D4vd has remained completely silent. No tweets, no stories. No interviews, nothing. And his silence is starting to speak louder than any statement could. The last time he was seen publicly was 3 nights ago at a small listening event in Los Angeles. Fans who attended said he looked distracted and off. One attendee even claimed he left early and didn't say goodbye to anyone, something that's very unlike him. As the days passed, the speculation only got worse. Social media became flooded with theories, some wild, some eerily convincing. People started pulling up lyrics from D4vd's older songs, claiming he was confessing in plain sight. One lyric from his track, "Empty Rooms," caught particular attention. "I saw the blood on the screen, but it felt like art. Now he's gone, and I'm the only one with the part." Fans dissected every word, every line, arguing over whether it was just metaphor or something much deeper. But here's where things take an even darker turn. A new leak surfaced late last night, a voicemail allegedly from a friend of D4v, sent to someone in his inner circle. In the audio, the voice, which fans believe belongs to someone from his early crew, can be heard saying, "He's freaking out, man." Like he didn't mean for it to go that far. He just wanted to scare him. Now, everybody's watching. If this audio is real, it could mean the murder wasn't premeditated, but accidental. Maybe a prank gone wrong. Maybe a threat that escalated. Either way, it paints a very different picture than the calm, artistic persona we've seen from D4vd. The leak spread fast. Within hours, #D4vdleak was trending on Twitter. TikTok sleuths began matching the voice from the voicemail to old live videos. Instagram pages started reposting D4vd's old IG stories with new captions like, "Was this a cry for help?" And how did we miss this? Fans were already shaken. The fandom was split. Some were crying on TikTok, literally posting emotional reaction videos saying, "I can't believe he might have done this." Others were calling it all fake news, claiming D4v was the victim of a smear campaign from people trying to bring him down. But then the FBI made their first public move, and that's where everything shifted. In the early hours of Friday morning, reports came in that D4vd's apartment in Los Angeles had been quietly raided. Neighbors described unmarked vehicles, agents in black jackets, and bags being taken out. So far, no arrests have been made. But the silence from D4vd's camp and the Fed's refusal to deny the raid speaks volumes. What were they looking for? Was it Trayvon's missing phone? Were they searching for the original video files from that TikTok? No one knows for sure, but one thing is clear. This is no longer just internet drama, and just when fans thought it couldn't get any deeper, Something even more shocking surfaced. A private phone call between D4vd and an unknown woman was leaked, reportedly recorded without his knowledge from jail. Yes, jail. Because apparently, D4vd had been quietly taken in for questioning the night of the raid. And while he hasn't been charged, the call suggests he may already be cracking under pressure. The jail call leak hit the internet like a thunderstorm. Fans were already shaken by the raid and the whispers about D4vd being taken in for questioning. But hearing his voice, raw, tired, and cracking under pressure, took things to another level. The audio wasn't long, maybe 6 minutes, max. But every second was filled with tension. The woman on the call hasn't been identified publicly. But fans suspect it's D4vd's longtime friend and rumored ex-girlfriend, Maya, the same Maya who appeared in a few of his early music videos and was known to be close with him back when he still lived in Houston. In the clip, her voice is calm but nervous. D4vd, on the other hand, sounds like he's barely keeping it together. "I didn't mean for it to be like this," he says. There's a long pause, like he's trying to choose his words carefully. I thought he was bluffing. I thought he wasn't really gonna show up." Maya responds quietly, "But you were there. They said your phone pinged." Then D4vd says something that sent chills through the fandom. "I told him to pull up. I ain't know it was gone, go left. I swear, I ain't know." After that, the call cuts out. Some say it was edited, others think the jail line was disconnected. Either way, the damage was done. Fans were stunned, and within minutes, the audio was all over TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Even Facebook groups that had nothing to do with music were reposting the leak. The hashtag D4vdc all jumped to 2.3 million views in just 6 hours. Comment sections were flooded. He said he told him to pull up. So he was there. This is wild. I can't believe this is the same dude who made Romantic Homicide. If this is real, his career is done. And while fans were losing it online, behind the scenes, people close to D4vd were starting to break their silence. His older brother, Devin, who rarely speaks publicly, posted a cryptic story just hours after the call leak. It was a black screen with the words, "You think you know someone till you don't." Fans weren't sure if it was shade, heartbreak, or a warning, but the timing couldn't have been more suspicious. Not long after that, Trayvon's cousin, Marcus Michaels, went live on Instagram and spilled even more tea. In a 20-minute emotional rant, he claimed that D4v and Trayvon had one final text exchange the night of the murder. And it ended with D4v allegedly texting, "Come say it to my face." Marcus said he saw the texts personally but couldn't release screenshots because the feds got everything now. He ended the live with one chilling sentence. He thought this was a movie. Now he gotta live with what he did. Fans were already on edge. But then came the twist that nobody saw coming. One of D4vd's fan pages, a page that had supported him for over 3 years, suddenly turned on him. They started posting side-by-side breakdowns of every song lyric, every caption, every reposted TikTok that could possibly relate to Trayvon's death. The admin of the page even did a breakdown video, claiming that D4vd had been dropping clues this whole time and nobody noticed. In the video, they pointed out how one of his music videos showed a figure walking through the exact same alley from the crime scene. Another showed him sitting on a staircase with the word "confess" graffitied behind him. And perhaps the most disturbing find, in an unreleased snippet that D4vd posted to close friends only, the lyrics say, "What if my silence was louder than a gunshot?" The internet had no chill. The theories got wilder. Some were convinced D4vd was trolling. Others believed he was having a mental breakdown and using his art to cope with guilt. But then a new voice entered the conversation, and things took an emotional turn. Maya, the woman from the jail call, broke her silence on TikTok with a tearful video. "I didn't want to speak on it," she said, wiping tears from her eyes. "But I can't let people twist things. D4vd is not a killer. He didn't pull the trigger. But he knew Trey was in danger, and he didn't stop it. He froze. He messed up. But he's not evil." Fans were divided. Some felt sympathy. Others saw her video as damage control. But one thing was clear. If D4vd knew Trayvon was walking into a trap and didn't stop him, then he wasn't innocent. The public narrative shifted again. Now, instead of seeing D4vd as a cold-blooded suspect, people started calling him a coward. He's a villain. Energy became he's weak and ran from what he caused. But things weren't done unraveling. 2 days after the call leak, D4vd's legal team finally released a short statement. It didn't deny the call. It didn't deny the raid. All it said was, D4vd is fully cooperating with the investigation and maintains his innocence in all allegations, but fans noticed something strange. The statement didn't mention Trayvon's name once. Not, "We're sorry for his loss." Not, "We send condolences to his family." Not even a single line acknowledging the victim at the center of it all. People were quick to call out the tone-deaf response. Even fellow artists started weighing in. Rapper Sky Montana tweeted, "Silence ain't always noble. Sometimes it's just guilt with a mic drop." Singer Nova Gray, who once collaborated with D4vd, unfollowed him and posted a story that simply read, "Energy don't lie." By now, fans were exhausted. The timeline was flooded with videos, theories, reaction clips, breakdowns, and conspiracy threads. But just when the chaos seemed to peak, another bombshell dropped. A TikTok user by the name of @RealHoustonMystery posted what they claimed was surveillance footage from a corner store just a block away from where Trayvon was killed. In the video, a man in a dark hoodie and jeans can be seen walking past the store entrance at exactly 11:03 p.m., the same time Trayvon's smartwatch logged his last heartbeat. The internet collectively gasped. Why? Because the man in the footage looked eerily similar to D4vd. Same build, same posture, and most disturbingly, the same shoes he wore in his last music video. Bright red and white dunks with a black swoosh. A limited edition pair that not many people own. The video went viral immediately. Fans started comparing it frame by frame with his old footage. One user even used AI to cross-match his walking gait and claimed it was a 93% match. And suddenly, the conversation shifted again. What if D4v wasn't just nearby? What if he was right there, watching, or worse? The pressure mounted. Media outlets began camping outside his team's office. Paparazzi swarmed outside the courthouse. Every time a black SUV pulled up, people held their breath. And through it all, D4vd said nothing. No apology, no clarification, no social media posts. Just silence. And that silence, paired with mounting evidence and leaked audio, was starting to feel like the loudest scream of all. As public backlash reached boiling point, it was clear that D4vd's team couldn't stay quiet any longer. The silence was no longer mysterious. It was incriminating. Fans, artists, media outlets, even former collaborators were all watching, waiting, refreshing his page for a sign. But D4vd remained in the shadows, and his team. They were panicking behind the scenes. Then came the move no one expected. A documentary-style video posted to D4vd's official YouTube channel, titled simply, His Truth. No trailer, no promo, no teaser on Instagram. Just a quiet upload at 2:47 a.m., the internet exploded. The few-minute video started with black and white footage of D4vd as a child, running through a field with his mom and younger sister. Soft piano played in the background. A voiceover from D4v broke the silence. "Before I was an artist, I was a son, a brother. A kid just trying to find light in the dark." It was emotional, vulnerable, clearly designed to humanize him again. But fans weren't here for tears. They wanted answers midway through the video. He finally spoke on the night of Trayvon's death. Or at least, part of it. "I knew Trey. We had history, and yeah, we had words. I didn't know he was going to get hurt. I didn't know he wasn't going to make it home." He paused. His eyes looked glassy. Double quotes, "I told him to pull up. I did, but not for a fight. I thought we were going to talk. I thought it was going to end the way it always did, with tension, but no violence." He never directly said he was at the scene. He never mentioned the surveillance footage. He never denied the voicemail. Instead, he leaned on one phrase, "I didn't know." And that was the issue. Fans weren't satisfied. In fact, they were furious. Because as emotional as the video was, it felt like another attempt to sidestep the truth. To play the victim, the comment section was instantly split. Some said, "This broke me. I believe him. He's just a kid in over his head." But others were ruthless. "He's gaslighting us. You knew? Bro, this ain't a documentary. It's damage control." And then, as if the universe was watching, another twist hit. The very next morning, TMZ dropped a bombshell report. The FBI had seized not one, but 3 devices from D4vd's apartment. And according to their sources, one of those phones had deleted audio files that are currently being recovered. The report claimed that one of the files was labeled Trey Convo Raw. It was like throwing gasoline on a burning house. People started demanding that D4vd be arrested. "Why is he walking free?" they asked. "If this was anybody else, they'd already be in jail." Hashtags like #Justice for Trey and #ARRESTD for VD started trending. And for the first time since the drama started, mainstream artists began speaking out publicly. Rapper Tyree Savage posted a video saying, "Gotta stop protecting people just 'cause they make vibey music. If you were there, if you knew, if you told him to pull up, you're not innocent." Singer Lonnie Sky commented on the situation too, writing, "Music is art, but real lives were lost. A mother is grieving. This ain't entertainment. It's real." As pressure mounted, D4vd's label was reportedly considering dropping him. Insiders claimed that internal meetings were happening daily. One source leaked a text from a higher-up executive that said, "We're one charge away from a PR disaster. If the FBI presses, we pull." At the same time, Trayvon's family lawyer announced that they were filing a wrongful death civil suit against D4vd, regardless of whether the FBI filed criminal charges. The lawyer told reporters this young man knowingly lured Trayvon into a hostile situation. Whether he pulled the trigger or not, his actions had consequences, and we intend to hold him accountable. The civil suit came with a demand for $10 million in damages and a court order to freeze some of D4vd's assets. The walls were officially closing in. Maya, the same girl from the jail call, posted again, saying she had been subpoenaed to testify. Her video was short, and her hands were visibly shaking. "I didn't think it would come to this. I wanted to help him, not get caught up in all this. I have to go to court now. I have to say what I know." Fans were stunned. People who had followed D4vd since the early SoundCloud days started posting throwback videos with sad captions like "This isn't how it was supposed to end," and "We watched him rise. Now we're watching him fall." And still, D4vd said nothing. And still, D4vd said nothing. He disappeared again. No stories, no tweets, not even a repost of the documentary. Just total radio silence. But while D4vd was hiding, the internet was still working overtime. A hacker group known as Netshade, infamous for leaking celebrity DMs and cloud files, claimed they had accessed deleted audio from one of D4vd's old burner phones. They posted a cryptic tweet: "This ain't just lyrics anymore. It's confession season." The tweet linked to a password-protected site that promised a countdown to the audio that changes everything. Within 10 minutes, over 150,000 people were sitting on that countdown page. But when the timer hit 0, the site crashed, fans lost it. People started posting theories that the FBI had intercepted the release. Others believed it was a fake. But then a 45-second audio clip surfaced on a Discord server. In it, a voice that sounds eerily like D4vd's can be heard saying, "He thought he could punk me. He didn't know I had backup. I told them to keep it clean, just scare him." But the clip cuts off before finishing, but the damage was done. This wasn't just about a TikTok repost anymore. This was a full-blown unraveling of a young artist's entire image. Legacy and future music outlets began removing articles and links to his work. One festival quietly removed his name from the lineup. Fans were debating whether to keep his songs on their playlists. It was cancel culture in full force, but mixed with real consequences. Some fans refused to let go. They started a campaign called Free D4vd, saying he was being framed. They pointed to the lack of charges. They blamed the label. They claimed Trayvon had enemies outside of D4vd, but for every free D4vd video, there were 10 more saying free Trayvon's family from this pain. The internet was at war, and at the center of it all was a quiet, isolated artist who once just wanted to make music that helped people feel something. And now might be the reason someone else will never feel again, as the FBI prepared to finalize their report. And D4vd's civil court date loomed just days away. It felt like the entire industry was holding its breath. The once rising star, who had captured hearts with poetic lyrics and soft-toned heartbreak ballads, was now front-page news in the ugliest way possible. And the question on everyone's lips was no longer did he do it. It was what's gonna come out next. The countdown to court had become a media circus. Legal analysts on social media were breaking down body language from his documentary, pulling receipts from past interviews, and even interviewing former classmates who claimed D4v had always had a dark side he kept hidden. But then, just as the public had begun to assume this was the end of the story, one final leak surfaced. And this time, it wasn't from a hacker. It wasn't from a fan. It came from someone no one expected. Trayvon's little sister. Her name is Amara. She's 17, quiet, rarely on social media, and had stayed out of the spotlight since the beginning. But late last night, she posted a private story that someone screen recorded before it disappeared. The video was simple. Just a blurry photo of a handwritten letter. In the caption, she wrote, "Found this in Trey's backpack. Never showed anyone." I think now's the time. The internet exploded. Within minutes, the image was enhanced, reposted, translated from scribbled cursive into typed text. And what it said sent shockwaves through the FA-endo. In the letter, Trayvon wrote about feeling paranoid. He said he shouldn't have agreed to meet up, and that he was only doing it for closure. He mentioned a name, Dave, short for D4v. He said, "If something happens to me, it's because I tried to end things peacefully and walked into the wrong energy." Fans couldn't believe it. This was the smoking gun they'd been waiting for. A premonition. A warning. A cry for help written days before he died. But while some saw it as confirmation of D4vd's guilt, others pointed out something else. The letter was dated 2 weeks before the murder. And that opened up a whole new theory. What if Trayvon wasn't meeting just D4v that night? What if more people were involved? Suddenly, attention turned toward the people in D4vd's circle. His crew, his background players. Names that had floated in the background but were never connected officially. One name kept coming up: Malik, a low-profile friend of D4vd's who'd been with him since Houston. Malik wasn't an artist, but he was known to run behind-the-scenes operations, managing events, coordinating shoots, and according to some Reddit sleuths, cleaning up messes. Then someone uncovered a comment Malik had left on a random post 3 months ago. It said, "Funny how the ones who talk loudest disappear the fastest." Nobody thought much of it at the time, but now it read like a warning. Or a threat. People started demanding an investigation into Malik. Videos were made connecting him to a blacked-out SUV seen near the scene of the murder. Fans pulled up old group photos, trying to read body language. Suddenly, this wasn't just about D4vd anymore. It was about a possible conspiracy. The FBI, sensing the growing chaos online, finally released a rare public update. They didn't name suspects. They didn't confirm or deny the authenticity of the leaked letter. But they did say that this investigation is ongoing, and multiple persons of interest are being considered. And just like that, the narrative shifted again. Was D4vd a mastermind? Or just the face of something bigger? Maya, who'd gone radio silent after her court subpoena, reappeared with a 3-part TikTok story that made everything even murkier. In one video, she cried silently while showing a text on her phone. "Don't speak on it. They watching." In another, she said, "There's more than one secret being buried." Y'all think this is about one night? But this has been building for years. What did that mean? Had there been a plan in place long before Trey's murder? Was he targeted because of something deeper? Or was it simply a fight between two rising artists that spiraled out of control? As theories exploded, the industry continued to distance itself from D4vd. Major playlist curators removed his tracks. Influencers who once danced to his songs now posted reaction videos crying in disbelief. Even his own merch store went dark, with the page not found. Error showing up when fans tried to buy hoodies or vinyls. But the most emotional moment came. Just 48 hours before the court hearing, Trayvon's mother, Lakeisha, posted a video from her porch holding one of her son's old basketball jerseys. Through tears, she said, "I raised my boy to be kind, to be peaceful. And even when he was scared, he wanted to forgive. He didn't go there to fight. He went there to make peace. And now he's gone. And someone has to pay for that." The video went viral, getting reposted by celebrities, activists, and media outlets around the world. Fans flooded the comments with blue heart emojis and justice hashtags. Even people who had stayed quiet on the case were now choosing a side. And then came the final twist. On the morning of the court date, D4vd's legal team filed a motion claiming new evidence had come to light. They didn't reveal what it was, only that it could significantly shift the narrative. The judge approved a 14-day extension, giving them time to submit the material. Speculation went wild. Some believed it was a video proving D4v left the scene before the murder. Others thought it might be a message from Trayvon's phone, finally recovered. But a few thought it might be something even darker. A full-on confession from someone else. Fans are now sitting in limbo, waiting, refreshing, scrolling for updates, divided between forgiveness and fury. Some say D4vd is a misunderstood artist caught in a storm. Others say he's a wolf in sheep's clothing who's finally being exposed. But one thing is clear. The story isn't over, not by a long shot, and whether D4vd walks free or falls from grace. The impact of this scandal will haunt the industry for years to come. So now, here we are. After leaked calls, viral theories, hidden letters, and unanswered questions, the fate of D4v hangs in the balance. What started as a few cryptic TikTok reposts turned into a national scandal. A young star once praised for his vulnerability and art now finds himself at the center of a case that's bigger than music, bigger than ego, and bigger than all of us. From the silence of the studio to the cold halls of the courthouse, D4vd's journey has taken a dark and dangerous turn. Was he just in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or did he play a role in something he can't ever take back? The FBI is closing in. The fans are watching. And the truth. It's still somewhere in the middle, but now we turn it over to you. What do you think really happened that night? Is D4vd just another artist being targeted by the industry and the internet? Or is this the fall of someone who thought fame could cover the shadows of their past? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. We're watching every theory, every take, every angle. Make sure to like this video if you've been following the drama from the beginning. Subscribe so you don't miss the next update. And to hit that bell icon because this story is far from over. And the next twist could drop at any moment. Until then, stay tuned, stay questioning, and stay woke, because in today's world, even a repost could turn into a murder case. See y'all in the next one. Murder case. See y'all in the next one.